let's check out Bellular's Final Fantasy XIV thoughts so far. Let me just mute this. Let's go. Recruited by the Maelstrom, the pace slows. It's glam time. Oh no! There we go. We lost him. We lost him to the glam. We lost him to the glam, boys. Oh, man.
Yeah, so I guess to move on to my thoughts on the game so far, I'm a level 31 archer, which means I need to go get all the bard stuff. I'm actually on that quest right now, I think.
Nice one. Very nice.
So, level 31 archer, just going about the place. I joined the Limsa, the Maelstrom, as my...
Let me just congratulate you, Bellular, on joining what is objectively the best faction in the game. And people, feel free to disagree. You will be wrong. You know, it's just, you know, Lims is the best. The Maelstrom is the best. Admiral Blowfish wins the best. So just accept it, you know? Just accept it.
A grand company.
Wild. Unbelievable.
Pretty because it looks cool.
It does.
Limsa just looks really cool, the city. I've got a chocobo. The chocobo's very fun. Very glad I have a chocobo. So that is, you know, I think a big moment in any Final Fantasy game, I guess, is the chocobo moment.
Have you unlocked it as a companion yet? Or
Nope.
just no? Okay.
No, I'm level 30 though, so
You have to do the My Feisty Little Chocobo quest.
So it can like fight with me and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, got my chocobo. Things in my head. So pacing was really good. It was like slow, but it was like going somewhere during the initial Gridania stuff. Then, you know, I do some more questing. I get introduced to the faction leaders of the grand companies in the 3 city-states in ARR. Then I do a quest line in the Sultanate people. I forget what are they called?
The Immortal Flames and Ulda.
The Immortal Flame. It's the Immortal Flames city. Ulda?
Ulda, yeah.
Ulda. Yeah. So I was outside of Ulda doing this quest line that, to be honest with you, it was going places, but the pacing was getting a bit tedious.
Yeah.
And then I had to go do a Beast Tribe related part of the MSQ in Gridania. Yeah. Which is with the little floaty leaf.
Oh, God, that was terrible. I hated that.
That is honestly the sort of thing where I was going through, I was like, you know what, I like all of this, but the pacing's feeling a bit slow right now. This could be faster.
Definitely.
I didn't like that quest line at all.
Every 14 player agrees with me. And I know this is the bit where I have to get through the 10-year-old content because, you know, and I have enjoyed elements, like many elements. Like I've overall really enjoyed the experience. Yeah. It's just, you know, the pacing has slowed down a little bit and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, but let's get to the Scion stuff. You know, I am at the place where the Scions, the 7th Dawn are. Where's the Scions?
The Waking Scions. Scions?
Yeah.
Scions of the 7th Dawn.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, they're near
Pray return.
In the little place. Yeah.
So yeah, they're, what's that?
Vesper Bay.
So like forming...
Vesper Bay. Vesper Bay.
Forming them was cool. And it was basically this thing of like, I actually liked what those storylines like with the Sylphs and the stuff going on in Ulda. I liked those. It was just the pacing. I mean, the one in Ulda did end with me killing a primal, I think. Not primal. That was like a primal. It was the primal of
the trial Titan.
Yeah,
Titan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Titan.
that, and you know, I'll get into it because that was basically not really a boss fight. Because I'm at that stage in the game right now where, you know, I've done like 4 dungeons. I've been doing dungeons with you guys, and it's been really fun because I've been clearing an MMO dungeon on a character that I like. Yeah. But I cannot look at those dungeons and say that they're better than WoW's. They are.
Oh, they're not.
The early dungeons are miserable. I actually genuinely...
They're not good.
I genuinely think...
They're okay. Like, they're okay as a thing to do in an MMO to progress your character, but it's not like you think, oh, fuck, that was a great dungeon. Yeah. But I know I'm just not at the bit where the expansion content is. Yes. So I'm enjoying the journey. I have, you know, there's pros and there's cons. I'm enjoying the journey, but... yeah, pacing slows down a little bit. Not super ideal. I'm just trying to get through more of the MSQ. It's the sort of thing, whenever I sit down and I'm just sort of in that more chilled out mood, I don't mind the slower pacing. Yeah. Really, it's just... I think it was just the Sylph stuff. There was like a bit in the sort of middle arc of the quest line where it didn't feel like it was going anywhere fast. And that was
the Sylph quest line was terrible. I said the same thing.
As I go into more of ARR, get towards the end, I'm going to be having big fun things.
Yes.
There's something, the
Praetorium.
Praetorium.
Oh boy.
I've been told to brace for that.
That is
Yep.
the Praetorium is almost
It's a movie.
killed my interest in the game entirely at the time. Wow. Because cutscenes were completely skippable, which means the climax.
Oh, you could skip cutscenes. Oh, you played it when you could still skip the cutscenes. Oof. See, I was very lucky because when I did the Praetorium, I basically did it on stream. So I think I had, if not a full group, it was very close to a full group of people to come do Praetorium with me. So nobody was rushing. We took our time. We killed everything along the way. And it just felt like a really cool dungeon with a lot of cinematics. And because the cinematics are really good the first time you go through it, it wasn't really a big deal. Both the Praetorium and the other one, Castrum, is it Meridianum, I think? I forget the name. That's an argument why some new Final Fantasy XIV players should stream. Yeah, the problem is size though. See, because like you look at my stream, you got 147 viewers right now, so relatively small in the grand scheme of things. So in this size, the community policed itself. So there was never any spoilers throughout my whole adventure from the beginning of Realm Reborn to the end of Shadowbringers. There wasn't a single spoiler throughout all of the time that I streamed, and it was fine. There was not a problem there. Like I even said, it even helped me because people would remind me of references that I would have forgotten because I have a goldfish brain. But, the stuff like Meridianum and Praetorium was made cooler because people just joined me for it, and I didn't have to go through a group where either someone was AFK or people were just like busting through, ignoring all the mobs, because that's always what you get when you go to Praetorium. Like people just bust through and nobody cares. I've actually started doing something as a paladin, as a paladin or as a tank, which is basically I aggro everything and then I pop my invuln and then I go through the crystal whenever I do those things to make sure that people actually make it through. But yeah, it's not a very enjoyable experience to rerun Praetorium and Castrum. As a matter of fact, I've said multiple times that, in my opinion, they should make those a solo instance. So you would go through it, and it would just be like an MSQ scenario, and you would have the actual characters of MSQ like Alphino, Alice A, whoever happens to be relevant at that point of the story, to join you in there, and you go through it with them as opposed to other Warriors of Light. I think that would make more sense, and it would be a more enjoyable experience. And then to replace the queue in the Duty Finder, you would just have like this one queue, which would be, call it the big EXP queue, and it would just give like the same amount of experience that you would get from Praetorium or whatever, but you could end up literally anywhere. You could end up like, on an Evilist raid. You could end up on a Heavensward trial. You could end up on a Nier raid, right? And that would give you a beefy chunk. Well, not a Nier raid because that would be max level. But like you get the idea. You could end up on an Alliance raid, a trial, whatever. You could end up anywhere, and that would give your character a beefy chunk of EXP, which would be way better. No, you can't do trusts. You can't do trusts because it wouldn't make sense. You would have just bring in the NPCs, make it work like a trust, but just bring in the NPCs and boom, done. And it would just be like a long scenario quest line that you would go through. So yeah, that's my thought on that.
Ifrit, that's what people are saying.
Yeah, it was Ifrit, not Titan. I have not done AR in a long time. I completely forget the order of those things. I should maybe just replay it then. I'll just replay it in solidarity with you. Goodbye time. Sorry, Ratchet. But I don't even remember what I was saying anymore. My brain doesn't work anymore. It was about dungeons and then something else. I can't recall.
Castrum and Praetorium.
Praetorium nearly destroyed my interest in the game because it's the big climax of 2.0, if I remember correctly, and they could be skipped, which means I went in and I was like, sweet, big long queue time, whatever, happy days. This is a really cool cutscene. That was like 5 minutes. Where's everyone? Oh, yep. Okay. They're on the first boss. Okay. I'll run for multiple minutes to get there. They're already ahead. I have another cutscene when they kill that boss. Sweet. And then I had cutscenes upon cutscenes upon cutscenes.
Yeah, 'cause
I think I managed to press 2 abilities in the last boss before it was over, because the dungeon was almost over by the time I'd watched all the cutscenes, because everyone just skipped and ran ahead, and it was an awful nightmare experience that made me like kind of hate the entire climax to 2.0.
It's important to mention, if anybody in here never played 14, that these are 2 dungeons that this happens once. They never did a system like this again in the whole game. There are some dungeons that have some cutscenes in between, but they're much shorter. This never happens again besides these 2 dungeons. So if people are concerned when they get to the end of Realm Reborn, they go like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't deal with Castrum and Praetorium. Just know that thing happens once in the whole experience. And that's it.
And thankfully, the cutscenes cannot be skipped anymore, which means veteran players suffer like hell if they do MSQ roulette and get Praetorium. They suffer like crazy. But
what do you mean? What do you mean suffer? If I'm queuing for MSQ, the one that I want is Praetorium because it's the big boost in EXP. Praetorium is basically like, actually I think Praetorium would be the perfect dungeon for Asmongold because you would like pop Praetorium to go level up or something, and then he could open up a YouTube video and react. It's perfect. You don't have to do a damn thing. It's like, just pop Praetorium, open up YouTube, open up Netflix, whatever, and you just watch something off to the side. Sometimes you chat a little bit with people. Me and Kegrin actually kicked a guy once at the end of Praetorium. It must have been so bad because this guy was like, for starters, he was AFK for a large section of the dungeon, and then he started insulting people in the dungeon. I don't remember exactly what the insult was, but I remember this guy was just basically being an asshole. And basically me and Kegrin started a vote to kick him out at the very last boss, which means that he stayed in there for about, I think it's like 40 minutes, the time of that instance, if I'm not mistaken. So he stayed there for 40 minutes, and at the end of the instance, we kicked him out and he got nothing. Because what you do in that instance, like your reward is basically a huge chunk of experience. Like that's it. That's the reason people do MSQ. It is potentially the most efficient way of leveling up a character. The most experience that you can get per time spent is just do Praetorium. So yeah. As a matter of fact, Matt says veteran players suffer through Praetorium. It's like, no, dude. This is like me and Kegrin would sometimes even get out of Castrum to try to queue again and get Praetorium.
The roulette rewards people plenty, and
so
they're forced to see it. So new players get the experience better, but it's
so that's rough. So as a new player, when it's unskippable, I'll be fine. So
Yeah,
I'll be
you're
able
fine,
to enjoy it on its own terms. It just sucks for the vets.
Yep.
Okay, so there's like no situation.
I don't think he's going to be fine though, because he still has to, people are still going to skip the mobs at the start, because at the start of Praetorium, everybody skips everything and they just run straight to the first boss. So it's still not going to be a very pleasant experience.
Because if this was World of Warcraft, I'd go in there and I would, be watching the cinematic while everybody else does the dungeon, kills a few bosses, and then they're like, that dickhead's AFK, and then they kick me from the group.
Yeah.
So that's
also, how's the melee combat for things like rogues, ninja, and samurai? So ninja is the advanced class for rogue. So rogue and ninja is kind of the same thing. Now, ninja, Kegrin, I never played ninja. Kegrin called it the melee caster, because the whole thing about ninja is like you chain together these mudras that give you different effects and whatnot. And you also get to summon up a big toad that does like an AoE fire blast. So ninja is very much like, think Naruto, you know how they do the words thing? Ting, ting, ting. And you even have like the same sounds. Ting, 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 ting. And then you almost like cast spells while you're in melee and whatnot. That's kind of like the ninja play style. The samurai, think of it as you having like 3 different paths of a combo. So You have your regular 1, 2, 3. Every class is like their 1, 2, 3 combo. The ninja the samurai has 3 of those. So you go 1, 2, 3, you get a buff. Then you go 1, 2, 4 and get another buff. And then you go like 1, 5 and you get another buff. And then once you have all those 3 buffs, then you have like this resource gauge that you can manage that lets you do these special attacks. And ninja is really cool because like you get to do with one of those things, it gives you like it puts like a dot on the monster. So you want to like do 1, 2, 3, and then you get the thing, and then you put the dot on the monster. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 5, and then you get to do like the ultimate special thing that they do, which is like this thing that even puts like ice on the floor and when I was super stylish, like real weeb shit. It's like, you know, it's like all about the yai strikes, right? Where you do the drawing attacks, like, and it's really, really cool looking. Like samurai is a lot of fun. Samurai is a lot of fun. So yeah, and ninja is also a lot of fun, but ninja, I believe, is a lot harder to play. I do feel Final Fantasy XIV suffers from bad skill bloat. What? Things that could be one skill are split into 3 for artificial complexity. No, the game is intended to be complex. Mastering your rotation is supposed to be a hard thing. They make it simpler if you do PvP so that you can focus on other things. But no, I think that's just the way that the game is. Rotations are supposed to be hard. Samurai is the strongest melee DPS in the game. Look up the true rotation. I don't remember what the true rotation for that one is. I never really leveled it up all the way. Yeah, it's like Shadowmances. I think it just used the World of Warcraft where you kind of just like spam 4 or 5 buttons and Bob's your uncle.
Like literally impossible in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
As of when?
It's like
a new
I
thing,
don't remember.
or?
It's new-ish.
Right.
Because I think I played ARR when Heavensward was out. So I think that was added in either Stormblood or Shadowmars. Also, like, well, there's someone saying it's good for you watching YouTube or eating dinner. It is like 40 minutes, I think, off cutscenes or something like that. It's huge because it is the climax to the story of ARR. It's just, there you go. Just, it's such experience. It's almost the epitome of, well, that, and I think at some point after in the patch content.
Storm Solos just said here, would strongly recommend getting boosted through Praetorium and the other one by a high-level friend unsynced so you can enjoy them.
Yeah, Praetorium and Castrum. I can't remember what it's called because all the Garlean location names are.
Can you do it unsynced for the quest?
It's like Castrum something. Like there's Meridianum, there's Orions, there's loads of them. I didn't Stormblood apparently, yeah, but it's definitely. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, Praetorium's almost half a level at every level in Roulette now. Wow. So it is just. If you don't mind,
it's a full level until like level 60.
Yep.
It's a full level until level 60 at least.
Some people are saying don't skip because the fights are fun.
Yeah,
I'll see. So that's actually interesting then. So there's people talking about the Praetorium. Then this is like a historical thing where it like sucked in the past, but it doesn't now.
Yeah, but it is also just set aside a lot of time to do this.
But that's interesting. That doesn't seem like. That really doesn't seem.
It's
like
not that bad. It's not that bad.
So other things then, yeah. So in my experience, Glam. Finally unlocked Glam.
Here we go.
And
here we go.
The UI and UX of Glam sucks compared to WoW Transmog.
Awful.
Yes,
but
this is true.
I'm like level 30 in the gear.
But Glamour Plates are significantly better than in World of Warcraft because in Final Fantasy XIV, okay, so here's the main difference for those of you who don't know how it works. In World of Warcraft, whenever you pick up an item, boom, it's added to like your glam thing forever, for every character that you have in that account forever. So like I pick up some crappy green item, I can break it, I equip it, right? After you equip it because it needs to be soulbound. You equip it, it's soulbound, and after that you can break it, throw it away, put it in the trash, do whatever the hell you want with it. It'll be in your like box of glamour things forever. You just have that thing forever, which is really good. Now that is better than the way it works in Final Fantasy 14, because in 14 you have to go get a glamour prism, and then you have to go to your armoire or whatever it is, and then, or is it the there's like a thing, I forget the name of it, but you go there and you put the item inside of it, and then you can use that item after you put it inside. Now the problem is that there's a limit of items that you can put in there. You can only have 400 items inside that box that lets you choose, for glamour stuff. But the positive of Final Fantasy XIV is that it has these things called glamour plates. So you make a glamour plate, right? Where you select what you want your character to look. And, you make it, you put the colors that you want, you put all of that stuff. You can even glamour your weapon if you want to. And you do like this whole set of things, and you're like, I want my character to look like this. And then you save that glamour plate, and, you invest some money because you want to like buy dyes, and you get the items and get all that stuff. You do this once, and after that, you can apply that glamour plate to that character for that job whenever you want in perpetuity forever. Whereas in World of Warcraft, you can save it, but you have to pay gold every time that you want to transmog your stuff. So, in Final Fantasy XIV, the collecting of stuff is a little bit rougher, but applying the stuff to your gear is much, much better. For no cost. Yeah, exactly. You apply glamour plates for no cost. I have Asmon's stream in the background as well, Shadow Masters. Just in case he does it.
Really nice. I'm not used to this in an MMO. That said, I do pick up some archer gear, and it's all these like weird sort of puffy jerkins and stuff. You're like, what's going on here?
Oh, you love the level 50 bard gear then.
I probably won't, and I'm not planning on playing a bard, so I'm going to get my bard up to 50. Roll samurai probably,
fair,
because it just seems like it's a cool design. But yeah, certainly, it's just that thing with the gear. And it's an engine thing.
Yeah.
Basically, stuff is less static than it is in WoW. So there's like physics and more things in your gear.
Yep.
And your gear moves satisfyingly. It like layers on itself satisfyingly. The way that, you can dye
Hatching
your gear.
Digits, thank you very much for making conflag grossly incandescent.
Not all of it, but
tip of the hat.
Some dyeable gear.
Appreciate
that's,
the
like,
support.
really cool.
Thank you.
And yeah, you know what? It's just a lot. It's the design of the gear. It looks cool. I like how my character looks. Already I got, for my head, I got an eye patch. I've got various hats. I got glasses-like things. Yeah. And I got like a mask, right? Like a mask.
Yeah, the Nighthawk visor, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting that.
Yeah, and I just was kind of... I mean, look, I don't know how this compares to other classes in the game, or jobs even, or, just other things. Sponsored by Pepsi? No, it's just it's an in-joke.
Again, that would be quite nice, I think.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the Pepsi sponsorship.
Yeah, I'd drink it anyway, why not?
But yeah, so the glam stuff I've liked. And, now it's that thing.
Cristiano Ronaldo does not approve.
The game, lots of detail. It gets visibly wet in the rain.
Oh, yeah, that's class.
That's really cool.
Gorgeous,
That's really cool.
Gorgeous stuff.
And yeah, the glam plates apparently help with that. I haven't gone into using the plates
glamour
yet.
plates are, instead of individually like casting glamours and stuff, you basically have transmog sets that you can apply for no glamour prisms in city. But that only works with stuff that's in your glamour dresser. So if you like an item, and you want to cast it individually, you'll need it in your inventory. But if you want to use it in a plate, it needs to be in your glamour dresser. So basically, glamour is a piece of shit, but it doesn't matter because the game is gorgeous and all the armor's absolutely beautiful.
Holy crap! What's the dislike ratio on this video? Yeah, these 58 are people that really like glamours. Glamour's a piece of shit. Whoa, dude. Whoa. Relax.
And the part that I like most is, like, I like some, like, older sets aesthetically, but every time I suppose I haven't done it a lot often, but I go to, when I first went to the vendor at in Spoiler for the Shadowbringers, like endgame stuff, I was like, all right, try on. Oh, that early Eden set looks great. I wonder what the next one looks like. Oh, that looks better. Cool. And the next one, oh, that looks better. Next one, that looks like the best shit in the game. And then what do you call it? And then Matt shows up, and he's on a samurai in like full Eden Morn set, the full Savage set.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
cool.
like
Yeah.
I say this to him every time his character shows up in front of me, especially if it's outside and he can mount up, because he plays in like an aura female, and is on the I think it's a store mount motorcycle, or maybe it's maybe it's something else, but it's just like that's a samurai dragon girl with like dark accented hair in the Edenborn set on a motorbike. That's so fucking cool.
I feel
so
like
cool.
a lot of the gear is JRPG cool.
It's cool.
But I kind of like it. So the glam stuff's satisfying. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. I know that like I'm in a grand company now, and that means whenever I do fates, I get seals.
Yeah, you get what are they called? Because I know they're
have
flame
no
seals
idea.
for
I don't know
Mortal
what
Flames.
they're called. But it seems like there's other things there progression for me. That's ARR stuff. So I'm just pressing through to hit Heaven's Ward.
Yep,
that's the plan. I'm having fun. I'm going to keep with it. Yep. I'd be lying if I said it was the most high octane, incredible experience right now. It's obviously slow, and it obviously is a Realm Reborn, and it's totally a Realm Reborn has met my expectations. Storm Seals, people say it's met my expectations with what Final Fantasy players have told me to expect of ARR.
Yeah,
and I think because of that, I am enjoying it. Now, I could imagine that if you were an average sort of gamer and you heard all these people singing FF's praises based on Shadowbringers, and then you played ARR, you'd be like, what are these people smoking? What are they smoking?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yep.
But it's not like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a case of if you have the correct expectation set up, you'll enjoy it, and then you'll unlock the incredible experience that is playing the game and being along for the journey while everyone else is seeing the end of the overall arc in Endwalker, which I think is going to be one of the biggest community moments ever in gaming.
I want to be there for it. That's why I'm leveling a character.